really good practice that led up to this opportunity coming up on Friday. Obviously, so, you know, I know there's been a lot of buzz about Tyler Van Dyke and him being injured. Tyler's been practicing at full speed. I think you guys reported something relative to him missing some days of practice, and him and a couple of guys were because due to camp. Okay, but he's 100% and has been practicing with our team. So in case, I know you guys like to write stuff, but there you have the stuff that you need, hopefully. But that being said, looking forward to, again, a really good opponent. It's played some really good football, very experienced team. What sticks out about them? A lot sticks out about them. They've been together as a staff for a long time. You know, the coach has been there a long time and has coached some really good football and some good football teams. Their defense certainly gets a lot of the attention due to the fact that they're the top defense in their conference. Have 9 returning starters. Or top 10 defense in terms of forcing turnovers, and as a team, from a turnover margin standpoint, they're a top 10 team as well. Interesting stat we found on them. The last 50 games, they've actually led in the game at some point in time or another, 45 of 50 times. So they find a way to create opportunities, and they take advantage of them offensively. They've shown to be a very dangerous offense with 2 different styles of quarterbacks and a very big physical offensive line. But a lot of respect for our opponent. In turn, looking forward to the opportunity to playing against them. So that being said, questions, please. It's a long off season. That's not one question.
The health status of the tight ends. I know Elijah did not practice in that scrimmage that we watched, and I think there might be some other tight ends nicked up. Can you talk about that? How they're doing?
Right now, we feel that our entire team, minus the guys that had surgery, are going to be able to play. So the guys that had surgery were Trevante Citizen. Who else? Jonathan Dennis is really close. He may not play in this game, but he may be ready for game 2 or 3. Chase Smith is cleared, you know, and he's been repping with all the groups on special teams and on defense. I would say Zion is going to be held back a little bit more, but we expect him back, just not yet. And we just want to be really, you know, we've taken this long to get it right. We want to get it right completely. Aside from that, I can't think of maybe Antonio Tripp, because he's still about 3 weeks out due to his shoulder stuff. But aside from that, we feel like we're a pretty healthy team going in.
Coach, now it's the start of your 2nd season here. You know, flashback to a year ago. What is, you know, changes that you've seen in the team that, you know, you've seen some progression on from a year out at this point?
Well, just about in every aspect, right? I mean, it starts with personnel, right, in the locker room. It goes on to your staff members, right, what you've done on the 2nd floor as well as the 1st floor. Schematically, I would say internally the DNA of our team has improved tremendously from a competitive standpoint. And I think when you create competition at certain positions, when you continue to flood the building with good people with the right intentions that like to work hard, it's a good match. It has to fit, you know, and the operation, the blueprint brought in here is one that's designed for people that really like to work hard, that love football. You know, if you don't love that, it's probably going to be a tough deal, you know, probably won't be very pleasant. But that being said, what you see is a team that has spent a lot of time together, like invested real time, real work. And because of that, I think you see a stronger, more effective and impactful leadership council. Systematically, we feel like we're better suited to our personnel, and but there's really not much talk that needs to be added, right? Let's go play football. Let's find out where we're at, play to the best of our abilities, and keep progressing as a program.
When we spoke a few weeks ago to Coach Dawson, he talked about kind of building more timing and sync in the passing game between the quarterbacks and receivers. How's that been going over the past few weeks? Yeah,
it's been progressing well. I know I use that word a lot, you know, progressing, but I think you said it really well. I mean, that is, it's timing, it's spacing, distribution, precision, right? And time invested couldn't apply more to much else than it does to the passing game, due to the fact that those guys, they have to know each other's next move, right? You know, there's so much of the passing game is based on those guys having like a real connection, you know, and having repped it so many times that they've done it to the point where they can't do it wrong, really. So We've seen a lot of progress. There's trust in it. I think at this time last year we were struggling with trust and confidence in the passing game. And right now we feel like it's one of the stronger parts of our team.
And also including the tight ends with that as far as catching passes?
We do. We feel the tight ends are very versatile. We think that they can protect. They can run deep routes. They're good in the intermediate game. They're good blockers. They're good on the ball. They're good off the ball. They're good detached. I think that you have a versatile group of different body types ranging from 225 to 265. That can do a lot of different things for you and provide some versatility offensively.
Skinner and Arroyo, ready to go?
Skinner and Arroyo, right now, they seem ready to go.
Coach, can you explain more about Miami of Ohio's offense and just what stands out to you about Brett Gallagher?
Well, he does it all, right? He's an excellent passer. He's a tough and physical and fast, explosive runner. Great feel for the system. He makes the magic happen for them. You know, great feel for the entire the culture of the organization. You can tell he's one of their primary leaders. And it shows in the way that he plays the game. It shows in the production that he's had. And certainly I know they count a lot on him, but he's surrounded by a great supporting cast now. He's not doing it by himself. He has some really good players around him.
Can you characterize where things are at physicality-wise on the line of scrimmage? Was there a good back and forth from what you saw?
There has been. You know, I think, you got to play a game to really, start getting engaged for where you're at. Have we enhanced the body types? I think you've had a chance to see that, right? Where certainly there's been a buzz about that kind of stuff, but we bring those guys back down to earth. The buzz, for the trenches, that doesn't mean much, right? You got to put your hand in the dirt. You got to go play. We're playing against a team that defensively is known for knocking back the run and pressuring the quarterback. I mean, their third down packages are as exotic as it gets. A lot of pressure, a lot of athleticism on the edge, and a lot of stunts and games inside, making things very difficult. So, for us, we feel that both the defensive side and the offensive side have improved because, they had a great summer, but we also, had an opportunity to enhance our personnel. And that personnel has been going head-to-head and toe-to-toe for an entire, 8-9 months now. In their player-led workouts, in spring practice, in fall camp. Today was a perfect example. We have three sets throughout the course of practice, where the ones go against the ones, the twos go against the twos, and you see legitimate battles and competition. So that's going to pay off for us, we think, now and in the big picture, in the long run. But we're enthused about what we're seeing. Let's go make it happen.
Mario, having said that, with that position group, specifically the offensive line, you needed to upgrade that. It starts there. Is that where you'll see right away the guys when you throw them in there, who can cut it, who can't? You've got a pretty good idea. Like you said, you have a pretty good idea, but when the lights come on, is that what you're really looking for?
Well, you're looking for performance across the board. When you say what we'll see, that's like a prediction. I'm never going to predict any aspect of the game. Do we feel confident in our advances and our progress? Absolutely. As a program, we do. We feel confident that we've worked hard. We feel confident that we're working and earning our way to playing better. And that's where we like to leave it before a game. I don't like to talk much about it. I know the way we work. I know the investment of the players, whether it be the film room, the practice field, all that stuff. So it's consistently just getting better and better. But we need to go play football. We're not on game day yet, but we're going to get there, and Miami will be ready.
Coach, I mentioned the returning players. I'm looking at this. It's kind of Middle Tennessee State game. Are they inspiring the youngsters, the 42 new guys, to step up for this one?
I don't think that's relevant to our game this week, but I respect your question.
Mario, how's this freshman class compared to others you've had in terms of their drive to compete and excel?
Well, there's going to be a lot of guys playing. You'll see that. I mean, it's what's funny. I know Cam has a responsibility of asking for a chart, like a depth chart, who's playing what. It's hard to tell, because there's a lot of guys that are going to be split time. Some guys are going to be in there after one series, some after two. And if a guy gets out, we're going to roll with him, okay? And you're playing guys that have earned playing time. And, we did a good job in recruiting some high-level talent, and they know what they're doing. They've been coached well in high school. What they lack is experience, so that part, you got to see what happens on the game day. That comes with the lights being on and live play and going against experienced guys. It's an experienced team we're playing against, But we do, our intention, our plan is, we plan on playing all the guys, young or old, been here for a while or just got here, that have earned the right to play, right? We're not just giving away playing time, and that give us a chance to be successful and win a football game.
Also, it's often said that between game 1 and game 2, you see the biggest improvement, during game 2.
Let's play game 1.
What was that?
Let's play game 1.
Exactly. So tell me about game 1 you've been a coach for so long. It's, for some kids, it's their first game ever,
Right.
What are some common threads that you see and understand? Maybe tackling is rusty or whatever. What are some things coaches?
Well, I think until you play the game, you really don't know. It's always a fear, right? Special teams, substitutions, organization, right? All that kind of stuff. So you work at it, you try to simulate those situations in practice, you go live headsets, you orchestrate, and you set up your scrimmages and your live play so that it feels as much as a game as it could possibly be. But in terms of when the lights come on or whatnot, you recruit coaches and players that are attracted to the big stage and the bright lights, so that if there's an error, it's not because of stage fright or because of lack of time invested or preparation or whatnot. It's because, hey, we just happen not to do well on this play. So that's what we want. Now, again, when you play, well, we'll leave it at that.
With handling adversity,
Yeah.
Can you tell yet before a season begins how a team will respond to adverse situations, or is that only something you can tell?
I think it's hard. I think that's hard to, and you wish, you really wish you could predict that part. What you can see in practice is the flow of practice, right? If the defense is beating down the offense, does the offense have that response mechanism to say, hey man, enough's enough. We're going to put our foot in the ground and we're going to go. We're going to get this done. Or do they just kind of, wave the white flag? Do they roll over? And what we've seen in practice so far is a team that's willing to dig deep and fight and turn the momentum, right? Hardest thing in college football is to get momentum and then keep momentum, or to turn momentum. So we've seen a team that has shown growth in that part as it relates to practice, okay? I always tell, and I kid our strength coach all the time, we have a great strength and conditioning program, but the weights don't push back, The cones and the whistles, they don't push back, right? When you're running sprints and all the other stuff you do. Football, people, humans, it's resistance, right? It pushes back. So it's a great question, and looking forward to finding out.
Mario, with all the uncertainty that comes with the first game, how much of a relief or how much of a comfort is to have a guy like Van Dyke back there running your offense?
Well, it's guys like that are hard to find, right? That have experience. That and the thing that sticks out about him, again, there's a guy that wanted to be here, right, and went through a tough time because number one, he's a competitor. Number two, he loves Miami, and number three, he understands where Miami is going. So to have a guy like that understands what needs to be done, how it needs to be done, why it's being done, and is willing to go at it, 1,000 miles per hour every single day it's awesome. He's got a great supporting cast too, which I think has really helped, and that's where we see a lot of growth, not only in him, but in our team.
Special teams, the puncher, you have a new puncher,
Mm-hmm.
and last year you had such a great one
Yep.
for a while. How much of an unknown is that? Obviously, how are you feeling about that?
He looks great in practice. He looks great when we recruited him. Lou is special, right? Lou's a game changer. If you look at how many times he flipped the field, and whatnot, and certain times last year we didn't take advantage of it like we could have. He caused some he forced some errors with the way he put a spin on the ball and the way he made it flip over and whatnot, and where he put it on the field. So, but we feel very confident in what we've seen, and now also year two schematically with what we do, we feel the advances in what we do and how we do it is going to help us. It's going to help our punter. It's going to help our kicker. I think it's neat to. If you notice Andy's bigger, Andy and big are probably not a synonymous, thought, but Andy has put on, about 16, 18 pounds. And the ball's, it's rocketing off his leg. okay? And he is accurate, and he's accountable, and he's fun to be around. I mean, that guy is, we're excited for him. You know, Mason has done a great job snapping the ball as well. We feel like we have a seasoned, dependable special teams, specialist group, I should say.
Coach, what have you liked about the competition at quarterback throughout fall camp, and just how do you feel about that position heading into week 1?
I love the fact, okay, we haven't talked about it much, that both Emery and Jakari have stepped up big time, where those guys have shown that they can play winning football. And their grasp of the offense, their ownership of our scheme, and they're just continual, their approach to the game is continuing to take steps, you know, continues to elevate, which makes you feel good about the present. God forbid there's a situation, and makes you feel really good about the future as well.
Anything else for Coach Cristobal?
Good.
All right.
Guys, thank you very much.
Thanks so much.
Appreciate it.